The idea is we're going to try different ways to help the little kid, but we can't, at some point the dilemma is, there's this deontic conflict, as we call it, or ethical conflict. We want to save the kid, but the crocodile is a protected animal. What do? Go back and forth. Stick out to the kid. One of these guys is going to try to give a stick. See, they're getting kind of panicky at this point.
Why doesn't he just walk out?
Okay, here comes Catherine. She's got a stick. It isn't quite right. We know this is... The little kid's falling under what? Where's the panic action? He's supposed to be panicking. He's jumping.
He can fly.
So this other guy goes and sits on the crocodile. It doesn't seem to help. Now we've got eventually somebody's going to go get the boat. Can you go get the raft? Who's got?
Why the kid fly away?
Where's the boat? Come on, guys. Lose your... Now, the people up in front of you made every piece that you're seeking. And they did it since we only got this property, and we applied for it, and we finally got it last week. And then since we had it, I insisted we had to use it. So this is what they did in maybe a total of 10 hours work. So the point is you can build things, it takes a little bit of practice to get the graphics interface. Just as a finishing thing, somebody asked, what does it take to build something? Greg, would you like to take us over to the land again? Greg's pretty fast at building these things, so I'm going to let him. You need a mouse, huh? Just a second. Where's the oven? It's probably not what else you're used to. So you see, this is, as you see, the land plan. So we'll go to the land. Now he's working on his iron back. He's not used to that. To do a right click, you hold the skin. Okay, give me a suggestion for a simple structure. Now we had thought, we were trying it, and we thought it was a little bit too big. We were going to build the new business school complex. We were going to put that up instead of the barn. But we didn't quite have enough time to get all the angles worked out. So next time we see us getting a demo, we'll try to put up the new business school complex. We can build the model, but we're trying to show you what it's like to actually construct it. So, did somebody have a suggestion, something they might want to see?
I'm just wondering, does it have the capability to do something a little bit more detailed, like a hospital room or something like that?
Remember you saw the inside of the Egyptian?
Yeah.
At this level, it takes more time to do all these things. But you can go to that level of detail. There's one site where, so another use of this is for orientations. And so there's one site where patients come into a heart hospital. And it takes you through, here's the front desk. We're going to ask you to go over here, and you're going to go to this station, and you walk people through, so there's scenes. And there's lots of, we were thinking FIU orientations, you could do a virtual orientation. It's not, think that the time to put up a given building is maybe 5 hours. Once you get good at it. Now that's not all the details inside, that's sort of sketchy details. But 5 hours, how many buildings do we have on campus? Maybe 30, 50, something like that. That's a big project for a couple of students, but it's still not a big project when you think of the scale of it by year. You could be doing a general orientation like that. This has that kind of, it's enough that when you get to the real situation, it seems familiar. It's not quite here. What we're getting over is that initial bump of disorientation. Greg, tell us something you'd like to know. Where are you going? Make this hotel.
Make this hotel.
Can you make this hotel? This is kind of a big question to ask. We only have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Build a hotel.
We're more primarily in the way of collaboration and construction. Sim City has gotten into social problems and interaction, interpersonal relationships, and so forth.
SimCity, so we're talking about, we have to be looking at this particular virtual world. The overall broader point, I mean, this is what's hot today. Next year something else. SimCity, if you don't know it, is kind of the ideal modeling tool for an urban planning. So you're planning, you put in whole streets and so forth, and then you can see little people running around, and, they can have traffic problems and everything. And Sims, there is also Sims Online. Now, the Sims, as those of you know about this, you buy your own house and you can, the Sims was the most popular computer game in 2002. Then they have moved to the Sims 2. Now it's like the original Sims was based on a notion of dollhouse. Dollhouse, the children's dollhouse. And you have figures and they have certain needs, you have to feed them and clean and so on. Sims 2 introduced in each of the avatars sort of Maslow hierarchy of needs. So they have basic needs. Once you fill their basic food and all that, shelter, once you fill that, then they have socialization needs. And furthermore, they gradually, if you don't exercise them enough, they get fat. If you don't feed them right, they get sick. They get older. They have children. The parents die. A new generation comes. And people go on and on and on. That's the Sims. SimCity is a model of looking at sort of the whole city. And you put in blocks, you put in infrastructure and so forth. And people like it or they don't like it, and they protest, and you have smog, and you have those kinds of situations. There is, help me, what's the new one? What's the one that's just coming out? It's from Sims. Spore.
Oh,
Spore. S-P-O-R-E. You write it down. There you start, then you are God. Then you start with the origins of life, and life evolves, and you can design if you look under Google, videogoogle.com, and type in Spore. And there's a video with Will Smith.
Robin Williams.
Agent.
Robin Williams. Robin Williams is actually playing Spore.
He's designing like a new dinosaur. It only has 3 legs. But they have all the mechanisms in there so that dinosaur can actually run. With all the muscles, and you're designing new life forms. Really interesting. It's not quite the business model, but it's really interesting in the sense that you see when these things interact and one eats another and so forth. So different kinds of potential for different groups. But the thing that all of these things share is a tremendous sense of involvement, engagement. People, for what's called an active user, The average usage of an active user is 20 hours a week. Now, I spend that much on email, but people get into this, and really heavy users, people get so engaged, not